I don't know if you're aware of this, but see this here? This is I always stall out because sometimes I call it a viewport. Sometimes I call it a layout box. But this is the layout sheet, and it is looking inside this plan. In fact, it's looking inside this plan of this right here. So what I wanted to show you, sometimes you'll do all this, and when you send it to scale, pretty much here's how it is in reality. You draw everything to the exact real world size, and the only thing that really matters is the size of your text. So when you send it to 1/4 inch scale or whatever, it just depends on how big your text is, because the thing you're drawing is always drawn in the model, full life size. So let's go look here. This text is 2 inches. Huh. Must have made it small for a reason. 2 1/4. 2.25. Yeah, that's actually real. But I can see why I did that, because there we go. The reason why I did that was because I needed to see the outside of where the joist sat on the wall. But now this is the right height. Everything here, if I send this at 1/2 inch scale, because it's 2 1/4 inches tall in model space, it will be exactly 3/32 on the template. Okay. Now, the other thing this is why I wanted to do this video, was I have a real world drawing of this at a different scale. See how this scale here is 1/2 inch scale? And then this one over here is 1 inch scale. But I actually drew all this in the same model space. So there it is. This is exactly a 2x8. The tail and everything, it matches this exact. It's just the text that I use over here is now 1.125 inches tall. And if I sent this to layout at 1/2 inch scale, this would be really tiny. And the way around that, I'm going to do it right now. In fact, I'm going to show you. I'll pull back. We're going to go from here. I'm going to send this at 1/2 inch scale to sheet 38. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, it sent it. I'm going to delete that and do it again. You got to type in the number 2 when you do that. Okay. So okay, there it is. Oh, Command Z. Command Z will be your friend. There it is. This big ass thing. Okay. So I've actually got a bunch of different things going on here. So what I would do is I would go like this and like this. Crop this down to the size, sort of what I need. And then I would go copy and copy in place. Drag another copy over here. So now you're looking at the model through 2 viewports. And what I'm going to do on this one, let's come over here. So some of you might already know this is something you can do. I'm looking at 2 viewports. And what I'm going to do here is come down to this scale thing. And I'm going to make it 1. Hit enter. So now see how this text is now the same size as this. And then if this was visible, I would hit the break key and then slide this over. And then I could probably locate this somewhere like this. And everything on here, when it's on the sheet, is, oh yeah, I can't have that down there, is the same size on the sheet. It's pretty awesome. And it's named the same, so I'd have to come in here, open object. I would change this to like 02. Attributes, I would label this and then I paid to have this macro built. And here's, man, this guy is unreal. So there it is, tail at wall, scale that. But guess what? What if this had no scale? You come down here and you go, yeah, no scale, hit OK. And his macro will put not to scale right there. So I only use that if, like, say I'm doing a 3D something, because 3D isn't to scale. Most everybody probably knew that, but if you didn't know that, it's not to scale in 3D because, like, say the front part and the back part are at different depths. And when you do a 3D and you view it as 2D, you can't have a scale on it. So let's do this one. We're going to open object, edit, call out 01. Now, the reason why I'm using 2 digits is I've found if I just do like 1 through 9, then this call out is a little smaller. And as soon as you hit 10, it's bigger. So I just went ahead and started doing everything 2 digit. Keeps the call outs the same size. Otherwise, you gotta uncheck the automatic and do this number. But let's put that macro in. And the other reason I wanted that macro was, well, I can't show you. And it just went away. It used to say like 3/4 FT equals 1. No, 3/4 IN equals 1 FT. And I don't like to see that. So it's not how I don't know. It's just a personal thing, I guess. I don't like using it out of the box too much because it just seems, they're obvious. You can tell when you look at a set of plans, you can tell somebody just built this using whatever default settings. So we're going to go open object, edit. We're going to come here. Oh, and please tell me if green is hard to see in the video. I did a video where I went through every single color that Chief has. And I just need to know what one of those colors seems to be the easiest. And then I will switch my Chief to that color so that everybody can see better. He even put my initials on there. Very cool. Boom. Boom, boom. 1/2 inch to, that's how I like to see it. 1/2 inch equals. And the only thing that was, I didn't mention this to the Alaskan son. His name's Michael. He had -0 because that's what I wanted. And he's really good at doing exactly what you want. But using this font, which is Universe, I think it takes up the same amount of space on each thing. I'm not sure. It's not like Courier back in the old days, but it's close. And so it looked weird because it would be 1 and then the apostrophe dash, and then the 0 was right next to it. So I went into his macro and I looked all through it, trying to try to understand it. And I found where it was calling out zeros after a dash or whatever. And I just manually put a space in there and hit save. And now it's perfect. So I don't know what I did to make that happen, but here you go. So let's go look at how that looks over here. Yep, scale 1/2 inch. And see, you notice the white fill on the text works perfect on the paper. Hides everything. It's not like over here on the gray. So that's what I wanted to show you was he wrote this so well that I can go to let's see, like this 3D right here. Open object, edit. I can just put this in here and it's correct because when this is highlighted and I go here, it came in as 3/4 inch scale for the text, and it'll do that. But if I know that I've got like all this is 3/4, so maybe I should put away or put some language. Let's do this because part of it is scaled. So let's do box scale, and then we'll go 3D, not to scale. And I could probably do this number. And hit OK, OK. Yeah, look at that. So I can keep the to scale for the parts that are drawn in 2D and the parts that are in 3D. Yes, I like this. Okay, that's it. Hope you have a great day. I'm working on a does Chief do bird's mouths correct? And they work, but man, I've been framing since 1989, maybe a little bit in 88, and it was only a couple years ago that I saw the IRC has a actual rafter notch requirement, and otherwise we never did anything like that. Let me show you. So the question's kind of odd. Does Chief do it right? They don't do it according to the IRC. Let's put it that way. Because here it is right here. I did a 2x8 at 8 and 12, so it should be 6 and 9/16, and theirs was 6 and 3/8, so it was really close. And however they're getting that calculation, I'd be totally cool with it because I've framed enough houses that our understanding was if it's 2x6 rafters, you come down 4 and 3/8 plumb, and then start your bird's mouth. And 2x8 rafters, we came down 6 and 3/8, and that was just standard. Had no idea that there was this D/4, which is the depth divided by 4. And I'll tell you, there's a couple things that gets crazy. If you use 16 and 12, it's steeper, and that depth over 4 is a lot of wood, and it makes it to where your bird's mouth is tiny. Not a good thing. In this example, anytime your rafter would stick in like this, you're no longer the depth of the rafter. You're whatever the depth is here. So if the plans called for a specific depth and you stick in because you made your bird's mouth too deep, you're wrong. So in this instance right here, I would have come whatever it takes to just come in 3.5 and then go down. Just so that point sits right there on the edge, and it's called fully supported. It's not a problem in 2x6 wall, but these little 2x4 walls. And then look at this. If you had a 2x6 and you had it like 16 and 12. People don't do that anymore, especially up here. People get excited if you do 12 and 12. Normally it's 8 and 12. A lot of times these trusses are at 5 and 12, 6 and 12. It's just looks like it's from the 50s sometimes up here. All right, I've talked enough. I will talk to y'all later. And I will get that other video out about how the bird's mouth thing works in Chief. I mean, I don't know how they do it, but it's not following code. I never followed code. But now that I know, I need to point it out. So there you go.